Muy buenas amigas, amigos y bienvenidos a otro capítulo más de Agatha Christie. Bueno, familia, nos queda una persona con la que hablar.
Pardon this intrusion, Mademoiselle Olsen, but something you told me earlier confuses me.
Oh, please, come in.
Vale. Vamos para adentro con la señorita Olson.
How can you be sure Mademoiselle Debenham was in bed all night?
As I told you, I am a very light sleeper. The slightest noise wakes me up. If Fraulein Debenham had gotten out of her bed, I would have heard her. I got up this morning around 8 a.m. She was sleeping soundly.
Confrontación. ¿Cuál de estas frases contiene una mentira? Como le dije, tengo el sueño muy ligero. Me despierto al menor ruido. Si Fraulein Debenham se hubiera levantado de la cama lo habría oído. Me levanté esta mañana hacia las 8 y ella estaba profundamente dormida.
Oh, the truth cannot hide from Poirot forever.
Vale, esa no es.
Are you certain you would have
Esta.
heard her?
Yes. Why are you asking?
I spoke to Mademoiselle Debenham and she told me that she got up around 5 o'clock in the morning. She opened the door and looked down the corridor. It was then that she saw a woman in a red kimono. How do you explain that?
I think I must have been sleeping very soundly not to have heard it. Oh, but does that make me a suspect?
I am not accusing anyone, mademoiselle. Do not worry. I am just trying to determine what happened last night. Thank you for your testimony.
Vale, perfecto. Rastro completado con los interrogatorios. Vale. Coartadas, nuevo nodo. He de averiguar quién tiene una coartada para la hora del asesinato que pueda confirmar otro testigo. ¿Quién tiene una coartada que pueda confirmar otro testigo? Es así, señor Michel. Señor Mac estaba hablando con este, si no me equivoco. Y este con este. Sí. Perfecto.
That's the right answer.
Informa Book. Vámonos. Venga, que Book está aquí en el restaurante, si no me equivoco. Está todo nevadito, ¿eh? Vale, gente, pues ahora a ver... Vamos a ir esclareciendo cositas. A ver qué nos dice Book. Está en el restaurante. Aquí tenemos el bar. La verdad que el tren muy concurrido no está, ¿no? Vale.
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
El arma homicida.
There is no trace of the murder weapon on the train, as yet. The killer could have hidden it anywhere.
It must be somewhere.
Indeed, as you say, it must be somewhere. According to Dr. Constantine's report, the stab wounds were made by at least one right-handed and one left-handed person, and with different strength. For the moment, everyone I have checked is right-handed. It is impossible to draw any conclusions as yet. However, I still have a few people to interrogate, notably the Russian princess.
You still have many avenues to explore?
Indeed, the case is far from over, mon ami. I identified the person responsible for the bottle of liquid for the vape found at the crime scene.
So, this is our culprit? Do we hold him?
No, unfortunately, this bottle belongs to Captain Arbuthnot, but he has an alibi, confirmed by Monsieur McQueen for the time of the murder.
Monsieur Bouc, Monsieur Poirot.
Michel, calm down.
But it's Mrs. Hubbard. She says she found the murder weapon in her room. She's very upset.
Let's go, Poirot.
Vale. Vámonos. Encuentra a Madame Hubbard. Vámonos. Me imagino que estará en su... A ver. Vale, yo creo que me la he saltado, ¿eh? Sí, porque esta es la Olson. Y Hubbard, si no me equivoco. Vale, Monsieur Michel viene a contar con Madame Hubbard ha encontrado la arma homicida. No hay tiempo que perder. A ver. Yo me parece que está en el otro lado, en primera clase, ¿no? Porque, a ver, la 202 es la nuestra, pero me ha dejado entrar en la 204. ¿Puede ser? Aquí, ¿no?
I demand to be
Sí.
allowed to leave this train.
Madame, we are in the mountains, trapped in a snowdrift.
Stating the obvious, there is a murderer among us. He had the audacity to hide his weapon in my room.
Please, Madame Hubbard, take a deep breath and tell us what occurred. Where did you find the knife?
I wanted to get a handkerchief from my purse, and when I opened it, I saw it. A bloody knife. Am I next to be murdered?
I very much doubt the murderer would give you his weapon.
What do you mean?
Madame, he would have used it.
Oh, I have it.
Válgame Dios, dice.
Did you touch the knife?
Of course not. What a question.
I will take that as a no.
Vale.
Is this knife the real murder weapon, or is it a red herring?
Mrs. Hubbard is distraught, Poirot. I should stay with her. Please go on without me.
I have every right to be distraught. Thank you, Mr. Book.
Vale, familia. Pues aquí yo creo que aquí no hay nada más, ¿no? Aparte de que...
Is this knife the real murder?
No nos dice nada, nada de nada. Vale. Pues ya está. Listo. Con ella no puedo hablar, vámonos. A ver, ¿de dónde vamos? Que esta es otra. Vale, esto ya lo tenemos. Vale, muestra que el cuchillo es el arma homicida. Debo pedirle al doctor Constantin que me ayude a demostrar que este cuchillo es el arma homicida. Vale. Ok. Entonces tenemos que ir... Sí, hay que ir a segunda clase, me parece. Que es donde está esta. En la 106 era, 105. Sí. El cuchillo.
Dr. Constantine, we may have found our murder weapon. We need to make certain.
There is a pretty quick way to be sure. I have estimated the depth of the wounds. You can easily find the depth of each wound by comparing the width. There are 5 of them that I am not sure about. Test them, and then we will compare our results.
I will do as you say, Doctor.
Debo comparar el tamaño de las heridas con el grosor de la hoja del cuchillo. ¿Sí?
Think, Poirot.
No.
That is not a good answer.
Vale. Vale. Vale.
I do not think that this is wrong, but I'm never far
Vale.
from the truth. That's the right answer.
Vale.
What do you think, Doctor? Is this knife really the murder weapon?
There can be no doubt.
No hay
You
duda.
found the same depths as the estimates I made during the preliminary autopsy. I can assure you that you hold in your hands the weapon that took Ratchet's life.
Vale, esta se ha levantado ya. Perfecto. Perfecto,
Thank
familia.
you. I feel way better now.
The rest gave you time to sleep off most of the effects of the drug.
I'm still a bit groggy.
That's understandable.
Are you able to continue your story now?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Where was I?
You were explaining how you returned to the Armstrong house to tell them their poor little child was dead.
Yes, that's it. I felt helpless. My part in the case was officially over, but I knew I couldn't let it go. Daisy deserved justice.
Vale. Mola, mola. Nos metemos otra vez, yo creo que en el pensamiento de esta, ¿no? Vale. En lo que le pasó a ella, ¿no? Con Daisy. En el caso de la niña, familia. Pues nada.
2 days later, I returned to the Armstrong house to tell them Daisy would be released soon for burial. I was angry with myself that I couldn't bring them better news. I wasn't prepared for more tragedy.
El caso Daisy Armstrong. Tenemos nuevo rastro. Perfecto. De encontrar al coronel Armstrong. Va. Vamos para allá. Vale, esta es la niñera.
Hello, Miss Moreau. I'm here to see Colonel Armstrong.
Good morning, Detective. Colonel Armstrong is upstairs. He isn't well.
Vale, vamos para arriba. ¿Que este dónde era? Esta era la de la niña. Ah, bueno, está aquí.
Good
Vale.
morning, Colonel Armstrong. Is your wife here?
Here? No, Sonia is not here. Always one step behind. She died of a miscarriage last night. My wife, Daisy, and our baby. My whole
Hostia.
family is gone.
I'm so sorry. I came straight here this morning. I received word that you can arrange for Daisy to be returned to you for burial. I didn't know.
Well, then, now you don't have to come back. I can arrange for Daisy, my wife, and our unborn child to be buried all at once. Very efficient. Being a military man, I can appreciate efficiency.
I know how hard this must be for you.
No, you don't know. I don't want your sympathy. I want you to do your bloody job and catch the creature that did this.
I know you won't believe me, but I swear to you, I will find who did this. If it takes me to the far corners of the earth, I will find them.
Then go. Please go now. Go find them.
Vale. Perfecto. Vuelve al coche. Vámonos.
The house that once held the laughter of a child now feels so empty. I'm not giving up. I'm a part of this case, or the case is a part of me.
Vale. A ver qué tenemos por aquí en el coche. Perfecto.
All units, hikers in the vicinity of the cabin where Daisy Armstrong was found spotted a pickup truck drive through the barricade tape and then head up the dirt road toward where the subject cabin is located. Any car nearby who can respond?
Unit 28, we can respond, but we're a ways away.
Dispatch, this is 11. I'm on it.
Copy that. 11, you're good to go.
Copy that.
Vale, a la cabaña. ...30 de marzo de 2019, las 2 de la tarde.
Okay, there's the pickup. Let's see who ignored our barricade tape. 11 here. I'm at the cabin. Someone has broken in.
Are you requesting backup?
Not yet. I'm going to take a look around.
Copy that, 11.
Vale, encuentra al dueño de la furgoneta.
An individual has entered a police-secured area. I have to stop him first. Footprints. A forensics evidence identification marker.
Vale.
Forensics had to go through this place with a fine-tooth comb.
Vale.
A forensics evidence identification marker. He's not here.
No está aquí. 3892.
3892. Oh, when the poor deer was killed.
El 3 del 8 del 92.
That's where I found Fluffy. Daisy's special toy. I hope we returned him to the family.
Vale, puede ser que esté fuera el tío. Vale. A ver. Vale, eso está visto. Vale.
Don't shoot, officer. I'm on your side.
Sir, keep your hands where I can see them.
Sure, no problem.
Sir, this is a crime scene. Who the hell are you?
I'm a reporter. Boston 6 News. You can get us on cable even here in the mountains.
They haven't heard of crime scene tape in a big city like Boston?
All right, that wasn't my best move. I got all excited. I didn't expect to find the place deserted. It was hard to resist.
You should have tried harder. I'm placing you under arrest.
You should be thanking me. Look what you apparently missed and I found.
We'll get to that. But you're going to answer some questions first.
I'm more used to asking questions, but fire away.
¿Quién es usted?
Who are you exactly?
I'm Michael Clark, journalist for Boston 6 News. Off camera, but someday I'm going to be anchor. You just wait.
Do you have a way to prove that?
My press card's in my truck.
What are you doing here? You should know a crime scene is off limits.
I'm investigating the Daisy Armstrong kidnapping like you.
Does the pickup parked in front of the cabin belong to you?
Yes, indeed, it's mine.
I'll check. Show me your hands. I'm gonna cuff you.
I'm sure we can work out a deal.
Put your hands in front of you.
Vale. Parece que es periodista, por lo que se ve, ¿no?
Aren't you gonna read me my rights?
You have the right to remain silent. I really wish you'd exercise that one. Dispatch, this is 11. I intercepted a suspicious individual at the crime scene. I'll check to determine how badly he's compromised it. Then I'm bringing him in.
Copy that, Detective Locke.
Vale. Con que tenemos cositas aquí, vale. Tenemos recaba datos sobre Michael Clark. Vale, periodista afirma haber tropezado con este búnker por casualidad, pero yo no lo creo. Vale, tenemos 5 cositas por aquí. Tenemos que inspeccionar el búnker. Forenses ha pasado por alto un antiguo búnker subterráneo oculto en el bosque. Tengo que entrar. Vale. Primero de todo, el coche de este tipejo. Vale. Del Boston.
Clark's press card, and the phone number of the newspaper is on it. Ah, good. I can give him a call.
Vale, recoger. Vale, ¿qué tiene aquí atrás? Vale,
Telephoto
interactuamos.
lens. Not so surprising for a journalist.
Vale. Cámara.
Candid photos of the entire Armstrong family. A reporter just doing his job. Or something else.
Vale, a ver qué tiene la guantera.
The glove compartment is closed.
Aquí suele haber llaves siempre.
Car keys in the sun visor. A classic hiding place. At least on TV.
Siempre suele haber ahí. La gente lo deja ahí. No sé por qué, yo no. Vale, ¿qué tenemos aquí? Arriba. Nada, ¿no? Vale. Venga, abrimos. Chicago Museum. Vale, la tarjeta no tiene nada, ¿no? Y Michael Clark.
Clark's driver's license seems to be in order.
Michael Clark de Boston, Massachusetts. Vale, 5 del 9 del 75, tal. Recogido. Vale. A ver. Que tenemos cositas por aquí, familia. Yo creo que se me ha bajado la silla. Me he ido bajando yo poco a poco, familia. A ver. Tenemos 2. Vale. Ok. Entonces, aquí en el coche no tenemos nada más, ¿no? Eso está visto. ¿Esto de aquí qué pasa? ¿En serio no tienes nada? No sé yo. ¿Y lo de la guantera qué pasa? ¿Que queda algo o qué? A ver, aquí está el informe este, claro.
Registration is not in the name of Michael Clark or a rental company.
Vale. Vale, documento de matriculación. Vale, de aquí no tenemos nada más, ¿no? Tenemos eso que habíamos visto, lo de la tarjeta y fuera, vale. Vale, aquí nada. ¿Tendrá algo más en el coche? Pues eso es, me raya mucho lo de la guantera esa. ¿Sabes? No sé si hubiera algo. No sé, tío. Me raya eso. Aquí parece ser que no tengo nada más. A ver, voy a salir. Verifica la identidad del Time Michael Clark, llamando a su jefa. Es verdad, ¿qué nombre era? ¿Qué número era? 613... ¿Cómo? Camar. Inspeccionar. 3487 es. 3487, sí. Vale.
Hey, I'm a pretty good detective after all. Hi, I'm Detective Joanna Locke, Berkshire Police. I'd like to speak to an editor, please.
One moment, please. Hello, Detective Locke? This is Abby Wilson. I'm a senior editor. What can I do for you?
Does a man named Michael Clark work for you?
Yes, he does. Why?
Vale, últimas noticias de Clark.
When was the last time you heard from him?
Oh, it's been at least 7 or 8 months. That's not unusual.
He works in the field?
Yes, Michael Clark is what we call a stringer. He works as a freelancer, comes up with a story we can use, we pay him, then we don't hear from him again for several months.
What kind of stories does Mr. Clark write?
Mr. Clark is an investigative reporter, mostly crime stories, to tell you the truth. He comes up with some pretty macabre stuff some of the time. Is there a problem? Or a story?
Do you remember what the last case he investigated was?
It was a murder case. The victim was a millionaire named James Miller. He was called the Frozen Fish King of Gloucester, Massachusetts. His body turned up in one of his nets. Or, rather, most of it did.
Ah, well, thank you, Ms. Wilson. You've been a great help to me.
Pleasure. I hope he's not in trouble. He can be a little pushy, but
poco
he's a
pesado.
good guy overall. So what's he working on now, Detective? Are you sitting on a story?
Thanks again.
Ya está. No quiero decirte muchas cosas más. Vale.
This outline is the same shape and size as the gasoline can.
Vale, no tenemos nada más. Vale, ¿qué nos queda? Más sobre el bidón de gasolina. Necesito investigar este bidón de gasolina. Puede que haya algo que vincula al periodista con la ubicación. Vale. Espérate, one moment, familia, lo siento. Recaba datos aunque Michael Clark, nos queda uno, vale. Es el... me imagino que será lo del bidón. A ver, con este no podemos hablar más, ¿o sí? Vale, vamos a ir al búnker. Porque de aquí no nos queda nada, ¿no? Vale, vamos a ir al búnker. A ver qué tenemos ahí. Mi gente. Si no recuerdo mal, está por aquí. Aquí. Vale. Hay un candado, Ah, vale. Hostia, ¿dónde he visto yo eso de lo de la combinación? Vale, ya sé, gente, ya sé. Vamos a la cabaña. El ciervo. El ciervo. El ciervo, familia. Por aquí. El ciervo lo pone. Y era 3892. Vale, 3892, vámonos. 3892. Vale. Sencillo. 3892. ¿Ves? Y es que encima nos pone ahí lo del ciervo. Vale, 3892.
Yes.
Yes.
I knew I could do it. I can always use safe cracking as a career move.
Vale, perfecto. Vale. Vamos a ver el búnker.
Now let's see what secrets you're hiding.
Bidón de gasolina. Hay ahí también.
This must be the missing can from the pickup.
Sí. Tiene toda la pinta. No. No, que hay algo aquí. Chicos.
The cap's been damaged. And some gasoline has leaked out.
Vale, ya sabemos lo del bidón. Vale, ¿y qué pasa? ¿Nada? No entiendo. Eso de aquí. A ver. Vale. Vale. Coño. No hay ninguna... What?
This blueprint. It looks like the bomb in the cabin. The kidnapper built the bomb here.
Sí. Vale. Buah, ¿y esto?
This bunker looks like it's as old as the cabin. Everything is falling apart. No, doesn't work. Now what? I have to turn the power back on to open
Tengo que
this
cortar la
magnetic door.
corriente para abrir. A ver. Abro la puerta blindada. La puerta blindada del búnker está cerrada. Hay detrás de una manera de abrirla. Vale. Entonces hay que cortar la corriente. Vale, esta está cortada, ¿no? Y cortar de aquí también. Me imagino. Y cortar de aquí. Y se abriría, seguro.
No, doesn't work. No, doesn't work.
No funciona. Vale, yo creo que hay que encender una, otra. A ver. Porque... A ver. ¿Ves? Aquí da igual. Que no sé esto, yo sigo así. Aquí no hay nada más, no.
Let there be light.
Vale, perfecto, que se haga la luz. Vale. Perfecto.
Perfect, it works.
No me cerrarán aquí ahora. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? El 24
February
de
24th,
febrero.
the day of the kidnapping. They knew about the party and everything.
A ver. Las puñeteras luces son un rollo.
Here's a new light bulb.
Entonces, ¿se puede cortar la luz? A ver. Porque si yo corto la luz aquí... Perfecto. A ver. Vale. Vale. Ahí está. Vale. 51-73. Ok. A ver qué tenemos aquí. Dinero. A ver, para empezar tenemos esto.
It's Daisy's hair clip, the
La
same as the
pinza.
picture I saw at the Armstrong house.
Dinero.
That looks like a
Y un
hair caught
pelo.
in the band around the money. Forensics will tell me for sure, but that doesn't look like Daisy's color. An expensive-looking pen with the initials
JM.
GM. What's its story?
JM.
These get locked up again until forensics get here. Okay, time for forensics to attack that bunker. And Clark? He's too sure of himself. I need to get him into an interrogation room and find out what really makes him tick.
Vámonos, del búnker. Vuelvo a la comisaría, familia. Vale.
I'll secure the bunker for forensics. Progress at last.
Por fin avances. Vale, vámonos. Perfecto, family. Vámonos. Que yo creo por aquí
I know my
finiquitamos.
rights. You can't keep somebody locked up in a car like this, you know. You wouldn't do it if I was a dog. Do they have bathrooms at the station?
Tienen baños en la comisaría, dice. Ay, vaya tela.
I have the right to make a phone call, Detective whatever your name is.
That phone is an outside line.
Hello, boss. It's Michael Clark. I'm still on the Armstrong kidnap, but there's a small problem. I got caught being someplace I shouldn't be. I'm at the police station. No, I'm not under arrest. Just questioning. Fire me. Why? The station's integrity? You're kidding me, right? If you think I've screwed up that badly, then fire me. Got that? Fire me. Yes, do it.
That didn't go well.
I think I got my point across. What happens now?
Go ahead. Then we'll have a chat.
Vamos a charlar un ratito tú y yo. Va. Interroga a Clark.
Now that we've taken your DNA, we can begin. Interview of suspect Michael Clark, 6 p.m., March 30th, 2019. This interview is being recorded.
By elves behind the mirror, no doubt?
You were arrested at a crime scene where you damaged police barricade tape.
I'll pay for a new roll.
That's a Class A misdemeanor, and it carries a $500 fine.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
To begin with, where were you on the night Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped?
I was watching TV in my motel room, but I had my police scanner on. I heard the first reports that the little girl was missing. No way the police at the scene were gonna let me get close. I set my alarm so I could get on the story first thing in the morning and tried to sleep. It was difficult.
Can anybody confirm where you were?
No, afraid not. I was alone and sleepless. A sad combination. And I realized a bad alibi.
¿Quieres interrogar a Michael Clark? Sí.
Let's move on to the gas cans and what we found in your pockets when you were brought in here today.
That sounds exciting.
Incendiar el lugar, ubicación del búnker. ¿Cuál es el tema más relevante?
In addition to the gasoline in the back of your pickup and another in the bunker, you had a lighter and gloves in your pockets. You were going to set fire to the bunker and every scrap of evidence inside.
Where to begin? I'm sorry to disappoint you, But I wasn't planning to use these things to destroy the crime scene. I've been around crime scenes my entire career. I brought the gloves so as not to contaminate it with my fingerprints. The gas can in the back of my pickup, I use it to put gas in the truck. Gas stations are few and far between in your mountains. I didn't know there was a gas can in the bunker. If that's true, I did you a favor. My arrival obviously scared off somebody planning to burn everything.
Do you also have an excuse for your lighter?
The lighter? I'm trying to quit smoking. I use the lighter as a reminder not to start again.
You say you're a journalist, a stringer for Channel 6 News in Boston.
I sell my stuff to lots of media outlets.
Your camera was in your pickup. You didn't want to take pictures of the crime scene?
I like to get the lay of the land. Once I see the story I want to tell, then I start documenting it.
I don't know any journalist who works a case without their camera close at hand.
He thinks he's invincible. I need to play his ego. That's
La
the key.
clave.
What are you doing in the Berkshires? And what is your connection to the Armstrong case?
For the past few months, I've been working on a big case. Boston 6 News was looking forward to my next story. The Armstrongs have been on my list of potential targets for a long time. I changed gears when Daisy was kidnapped and started investigating the Armstrongs.
Confrontación. Boston 6 News aguardaba con impaciencia mi siguiente noticia. Los astros llevaban mucho tiempo en mi lista. Cambié de rumbo tras el secuestro de Daisy. Yo creo que es esta.
I don't see anything that proves he's lying. Where's a lie detector when you need one?
Vale.
I need proof.
Oh, estoy de cojones, yo también.
So you just stumbled on a major kidnapping story during your stay in the Berkshires?
Yeah, I was researching PCBs in the river for crying out loud. Then, wow, the Armstrongs. That's not a Science Sunday report. That's a lead. Sometimes you just get lucky.
Your press card says Boston 6 News, and you say you started working on the Armstrong case when little Daisy was abducted, but Boston 6 News didn't even know you were on site.
Detective, if I had the inside track on this case, do you think I'm gonna go only to Boston 6? I could have had a bidding war for my... I'm gonna use the word, my scoop.
It still doesn't sound quite right. But there is a warped kind of logic to his story.
Your camera in the pickup. There were photos of Daisy from before she was kidnapped.
The Armstrongs are a famous family, like the Kennedys or Hollywood couples. Gossip sites love them. People want to see how they live. I started out just stealing candid shots. Paparazzi live on getting that one exclusive shot. Steamy, intimate, whatever. Then when the kidnapping happened, I realized I was here first. What an opportunity. And I jumped at it.
You have an answer for everything.
You're not very good at this, are you? How long have you been on the job?
Long enough to put you away for life, if you killed that little girl.
Vale.
Let's start with why you went to the cabin.
If the police were interested in it, I was interested in it.
How did you find the cabin?
Police radio. I heard the forensic team getting directions. Then, when they finally left the scene late this morning, I jumped in my pickup and hurried on up the mountain.
You tore the tape at the entrance to the property and stomped all over the house. This constitutes a serious violation of a crime scene, Mr. Clark.
I'm aware of that. I'm sorry. I'll pay the fine. But I got carried away. It isn't often I get a crime scene all to myself.
He's enjoying himself. I need to throw him off balance somehow. Surprise him into making an error.
Explain to me again how you got to the crime scene.
I listened in on the police radio frequency. Anybody can do it with a scanner. I headed for the crime scene in my trusty pickup, like I've done for years. After the forensic team left, I needed to see the crime scene for myself. I got to the bunker just before you arrived.
Pinché la frecuencia de la radio de la policía. Todo el mundo puede hacerlo con un escáner. Fui a la escena del crimen con mi fiel camioneta, como llevo haciendo muchos años, no porque no estaba puesta su nombre, Después de que se marcharon los forenses, tenía que ver la escena con mis propios ojos. Llegué al búnker antes de que usted viniera.
You said you've been driving that pickup for years?
You heard right. Thanks to it, I never miss a story.
You say you've been using your pickup for years, but the title certificate is not in your name. The truck belongs to somebody named Stephen Baker.
Okay, I don't get why the pickup is so important to you, but I guess my ego made me say that. Yeah, the pickup was lent to me by a friend. I couldn't afford it even with a loan.
Qué mentiroso, qué enrao.
Mr. Clark. You needed a pickup like that for our mountain roads, so you stole that one.
Try proving it. But while you run off on some wild goose chase, you can't hold me.
I know that Clark is lying. I need to reconstruct the whole sequence of events in order to understand what happened.
Vale, reconstrucción. Ok. Llego a la cabaña, entonces. Coloca los acontecimientos. Clark abre el búnker. Clark tira el bidón de gasolina al búnker. Clark rompe la barrera policial. Clark cierra el búnker. Clark coge un bidón de gasolina de su camioneta. Llego y sorprendo a Clark. A ver, yo creo que sería... Llego a la cabaña. Hostia. A ver, rompe. Clark coge un bidón de gasolina, ¿no? Clark tira el bidón de gasolina al búnker. Espérate, no. Coge un bidón. Clark abre el búnker. Llegamos nosotros. Tira el bidón. Cierra el búnker y lo sorprendemos. Sí, vale.
That is a great detective job.
I'll tell you what really happened. You waited until forensics left and arrived in your probably stolen pickup. You grabbed a can of gasoline from your truck. You then went into the cabin to check if Daisy had been found. You then went straight to the bunker to see if it had been discovered, planning to set it on fire and destroy all the evidence inside. Before you could start the fire, you heard me arrive. So you hastily left your gas can and closed the hatch. You didn't think I could open the bunker. If I hadn't found you, I expect you would have burned down the cabin too.
I'm not gonna make fun of you, detective, or how you handled my interrogation. You're obviously very new at this. I swear I'm telling the truth. I didn't know the bunker was there until the moment you showed up. I seem to have trumped your entire police force.
When I get the DNA results from the bunker, we'll continue this conversation.
You have no concrete evidence against me whatsoever.
The lab results will be in soon. You won't get away with this. See that call? That's your arrest warrant and a one-way ticket to prison. I'll be right back.
¿Verdad están?
Hello, sir. I think I found the man who kidnapped Daisy Armstrong. I'm interrogating him now.
Hold on, Detective Locke. I have some bad news. Someone set fire to the cabin in the bunker. The fire department is on the scene, but they say it's too late.
That's impossible. My suspect has been in the interrogation room with me all evening.
We can't hold him. Suzanne Moreau. Her fingerprints are on the wine bottle found in the cabin. We also found an unknown person's fingerprints, but they don't match your suspects.
Sir, with all due respect, I'm convinced Michael Clark is involved.
Detective, I'm cutting you some slack already, but we cannot hold your suspect simply because you're convinced he's guilty. We have evidence that Suzanne was working with an accomplice, Noah Garrity. I order you to release the reporter and arrest this Moreau.
Let me just check my last lead. The DNA analysis of the hair found in the bunker safe. The results just came in.
I know how hard this is. Okay.
A ver, con los resultados de ADN.
Get the DNA results. Detective Locke, I will give you 1 hour maximum. Then you close the file and arrest Suzanne Moreau.
Thank you, sir.
Pregúntale a Clark sobre su cómplice.
Who did you call earlier?
An editor from the Boston 6 News.
An editor you repeatedly said should fire you. That was your accomplice, wasn't it? You were telling him to start the fire.
An accomplice?
Hostia, elige el nombre del cómplice de Ratchet. Noah o Jonas, yo que
I
soy
know
Jonas.
it was Jonas you called.
Jonas? I don't know anyone
Jonas
called
mismo,
Jonas.
yo que
Really,
sé.
Detective, I'd like to leave now.
Stay right where you are. I'm not done with you yet.
Wow. Do I hear grounds for a lawsuit?
Some poor innocent woman is being accused instead of you. You set her up, didn't you?
You have to let me go, Detective.
All I need is one more phone call to the lab. I know it's you, and I'm going to prove it.
A ver.
Hello, this is Joanna Locke. I need the results of the DNA test I asked you for.
Hi, Detective. Sorry, we only have the DNA sequence. We haven't had time to compare it with the suspects yet. It'll take 7 more hours. I'm sorry, but you are not the only one on the waiting list.
Send your analysis to my computer in the office. I'll do the comparison myself.
I need authorization.
I have a murderer who is going to walk free unless I get those results now.
Fine, we'll send it to you right away, but I'll have to log this.
Vale.
It's my last chance.
Compara los resultados de ADN. Pero aquí no será, será aquí, me imagino. ¿No? Vale, aquí tenemos al sospechoso.
And he doesn't expect to lose. Case files. A lot of them for our tiny town. The only comfortable chair in the whole station. But there's no time to rest. I'll add these to the file. Anything that will erase Clark's smile.
Vale. Hostia, ADN desconocido de la cabaña. Ah. ¿Y esto qué? ¿Y esto cómo va? ¿Bu? A ver. A ver, esto hay que meterlo aquí, vale. Me imagino, porque estos son cuadrados. Sí. Entonces... ¿Esto dónde puñetas puede ir? Pues claro, debería de coincidir, pero aquí no hay nada. A ver. No. Vale, hay que coincidir. Vale, ya sé cómo va esto. TGC. TGT. CTG. TTA. Vale, ya sé cuál es. Susan Moreau. A ver, he visto el CTG. ¿Dónde? Aquí. Cuyons. Aquí. Vale, este vale. Valídate.
No.
Susan.
No. Suzanne? I don't understand. I was sure it would be Clark's hair. I'll have to let him go.
Suelta a Clark. Va.
You can leave.
Sorry it didn't work out for you, Detective. Maybe you should consider a career change.
Que Susan Moreau me parece que es la niñera, ¿no?
We are not done.
Oh, but we are, my dear. We are done.
I had no choice but to return to the Armstrong house to arrest Suzanne Moreau.
Sí. Así es. Mansión de los Armstrong, 30 de marzo de 2019, las 9 de la noche, 21:00 ponía. A ver.
The arrest warrant for Suzanne Moreau. Suzanne was set up by Clark and Noah. They are the kidnappers, but I'm not giving up. When Suzanne comes up for trial, I will fight for her defense. But for now, the district attorney is in charge. If I want to stay a detective, he always has the last word.
Vale, no tenemos nada más, ¿no? que salir. Vale.
The door is wide open. How strange.
Algo raro, ¿no?
Hey, is anyone there? Miss Moreau? Miss Moreau? This is Detective Locke.
Vale, aquí no tenemos a nadie. Vamos para aquí, para la habitación suya. Va, ¿se ha quitado la vida o qué?
Miss Moreau, can you hear me? It's me, Detective Locke. You must get up now. Miss Moreau? Miss Moreau, can you hear me?
Suzanne Moreau is dead. There are no traces of blows or injuries on her body. She doesn't seem to have defended herself from anyone.
Arresta a Suzanne Moreau. Vale, esto lo tenemos hecho. Investiga la muerte de Suzanne Moreau. Pastillas.
It appears Suzanne killed herself by ingesting all these drugs. Her glasses are missing.
Vale, vemos esta de aquí abajo. Vale, este es el llavero. Vale.
Suzanne's diary is missing.
El diario de Susan no está. A ver, estimada señorita Moreau, le rogamos que nos disculpe de antemano por esta carta, pues el doctor no ha podido ponerse en contacto con usted desde hace días. Queríamos comunicarle que su madre falleció en paz durante la noche del sábado 29 de marzo. No duden en ponerse en contacto si desea que la ayudemos a hacer los preparativos necesarios. Atentamente, Abdel Franklin, directora asociada.
Suzanne was telling the truth about her mother.
He matado a Daisy, temía que testificara si la dejaba salir con vida de la cabaña. No puedo vivir con la culpa. Hola.
She must have realized at last how she'd been used. The death of her mother would have been an additional shock, and the self-righteous court of social media was as quick as usual to try and convict her. I called the district attorney to inform him.
This is Detective Locke, sir. I'm at the Armstrong house.
Have you arrested Suzanne Moreau?
She's dead, sir. Apparent suicide, but I need a forensics team.
She killed herself out of remorse for her part in the crime.
We don't know that yet. I'm calling forensics now, but I wanted you to know.
What a mess. Stay on site until forensics arrive.
Yes, sir. Standing by.
Madre.
The investigation was officially closed. I was certain that she was innocent, and Clark had been responsible for 4 deaths and then vanished into thin air. With $1 million. Dollars marked, though, and not easily spent. I didn't care if the case was officially closed.
I swore, Mr. Poirot, whatever it took, I would hunt him down.
Orient Express, 17 de diciembre de 2023, las 13:56 de la tarde.
I waited for the forensics team, then went into the station to write my report. I was officially off the case.
Thank you, mademoiselle. That obviously cannot be the completion of your story. If I might ask a question?
Of course.
¿Quién era Ratchet? ¿No el novio de la señorita Moreau o Clark, Michael Clark, el periodista?
Suzanne Moreau's boyfriend, the one who manipulated her and burned down the cabin. This was Ratchet?
No, he was an accomplice. Clark, The phony journalist was the leader.
Michael Clark, the reporter. He was Ratchet?
Absolutely. I was the only law enforcement official to question Clark. I knew this wasn't his first kidnapping.
You looked for similar cases. What do you Americans call the MMOs?
Means, motive, and opportunity. Yes, I looked for someone in plain sight. Someone on the edge of a kidnapping case. Someone in plain view, keeping track of the investigations. An innocent witness, a concerned neighbor, even another reporter.
And eventually you found a name behind an alias.
Yes, I found a name.
Cassetti.
Cassetti, the real name. The real name of the man you call Ratchet is Cassetti.
This explains much, mademoiselle, but not all.
It explains why she is our #1 suspect.
But not how she came to be on this train. Attends, she has grown pale.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Excuse me, Mr. Poirot. I don't feel very well.
You are exhausted and still feeling the effects of the drug. Stay with us, mademoiselle. One more effort. I need to know your recent movements.
I snuck aboard the train.
This I observed. You came directly to this room?
Yes. Yes, and other than a couple of careful trips to the ladies yesterday, I never left this room. I didn't want to be spotted by Ratchet. Yesterday, I chatted with my roommate, Miss Schmidt, I think, here in our room. She brought me some dinner. I got very sleepy and nodded off.
And now she nods off again. Is this a joke? She must be faking so we can't interrogate her further, Poirot.
No, Book. She really seems to have fallen asleep again. It is my fault. She must have been given a dangerous dose of sleeping pills last night. The effects should wear off soon, I hope, but I am afraid asking her to tell us her story was too much for her.
Pinch her, Poirot. She's faking.
Her eyes are dilated. She is not faking, and there will be no pinching. Dr. Constantine, please stay with her. Monsieur Book, ask the other passengers to gather in the dining car. There are still many questions I need to ask.
But all of them together? Won't someone overhear you questioning the others?
I will speak softly because I am trained to do so. They will speak softly because they want to.
Very well. I will do as you say.
Vale, familia, pues vamos a ir dejando por aquí el capitulazo de hoy, ¿eh? Más cositas que nos vamos enterando de la historia. Sí, señor. Gran capítulo, familia. Pues lo digo, pues lo dicho, como os digo siempre, si os ha gustado darle un gran licazo. Si no estáis suscritos, suscribiros no cuesta nada, es tan solo un clic y apoyáis a un servidor como yo, familia, y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Hasta luego!